The night hums softly. The stars breathe in slow rhythm. Between them, a realm awakens. It is neither day nor dream, but something in between. The kingdom of reverie. Here, thoughts take shape and silence speaks in color. Shadows drift like forgotten lullabies. And at the center, upon a throne of light and mist, sits Morpheus, keeper of dreams. His gaze stretches across endless horizons of sleeping minds, each spark a story, a wish, a secret. But tonight, something falters. The air trembles, the dreams flicker. Silence creeps in. It's not the calm of peace, but the quiet of absence. Something ancient stirs. Morpheus rises. His voice echoes through the silver clouds. The dreams are fading. Whispers ripple across the realm. The gates of reverie are closing. No mortal may cross and no dream may bloom. The bridge between sleep and soul weakens. Morpheus closes his eyes. He remembers the warmth of the first dream ever woven. Now it dims like a dying star. The time has come to journey beyond his realm, to seek the truth, to reopen the gates of reverie. The dream realm trembles, its silver plains shimmer under a pale, flickering light. Morpheus walks alone across the vast field of sleeping thoughts. Each dream is a star. Once they sang in harmony. Now they pulse weakly, fading like echoes in the mist. He kneels beside one, a dream of a child flying over oceans. The image dissolves mid-flight. The laughter fades into silence. He touches the air. It feels cold, thin, uncertain. The source weakens, he whispers. His voice vanishes into the void like falling dust. Above him, clouds of memory twist into shapes. Faces of dreamers calling his name. Their voices are dim, drained of wonder. Why can't we dream anymore? They ask. Morpheus looks toward the horizon where light once shimmered like dawn. Now it is gray. Something blocks the flow of creation, the current that connects dream to soul. He can sense it, a wall unseen, a pulse missing in the heart of sleep. He turns toward the spires of the dream citadel, where his council waits in quiet dread. Inside, the chamber of slumber glows faintly with moonfire. Scrolls of dreamlight float above. The keepers stand silent, their robes rippling like shadows. Hypnea bows her head first. The dreams collapse, my lord. They dissolve before they can be born. Morpheus closes his eyes, hearing the tremor in her tone. How many lost tonight? Thousands, she answers softly. Across every realm, across every mind. He lifts his hand and 1,000 lights appear, dim and trembling, like candles in storm. Each one a mortal dream, unfinished, abandoned mid-thought. He watches them fade. Dreams are fragile, yet eternal, or so he believed. But now eternity cracks. What of the dream wells, he asks. Do they still flow? Hypnea's silence is answer enough. The wells have run dry. The dream energy that once filled every sleeping soul now dwindles to a whisper. Somewhere, something steals the essence of wonder. The gate of reverie, perhaps. But how could it close? It was forged before time, born from the breath of creation. Morpheus paces slowly, his robes stirring the silver dust beneath his feet. He remembers when dreams were endless, when mortals believed in magic, in hope. Now they chase reason, waking worlds, and forget the language of imagination. Could it be that mortals themselves have dimmed the dreamlight? He does not know, but he must find the answer. Outside, the stars flicker, one by one, falling into silence. Morpheus gazes upward, his heart heavy as shadow. If the gates close, he says, then the world shall sleep without dreaming, and never awaken again. The words hang in the air, cold and final. The keepers lower their heads. Far away in the mortal world, a child stirs in her bed, her dream half born. It fades before she can see it. She turns, restless, into a hollow sleep. And above her, unseen, Morpheus feels the loss. The first tear in the fabric of dreams, the first warning that the age of reverie is ending. The night deepens in the dream realm. The silver mists coil around Morpheus like thoughts unspoken. He stands at the edge of the dream citadel, watching the horizon shimmer with fading echoes. Then, a whisper drifts through the air, soft, trembling, ancient. Morpheus. He turns. No one stands behind him, yet the voice lingers, echoing in every shadow. It is not one voice, but many. layered like memories, fragile and distant. They are the forgotten ones, the remnants of dreams left unfinished, unremembered, unloved. They drift between the worlds, half-born fragments searching for their dreamers. Morpheus listens as their voices gather strength. The gates are closing. His eyes darken with knowing. The gates of reverie, the bridge between dreaming and waking. If they close, dreams cannot reach the mortal heart. Imagination itself would wither. Where are you? Morpheus calls. Show me. The air ripples, shapes form, silhouettes of forgotten dream beings, a bird with broken wings, a melody with no sound, a child's laughter trapped in a crystal tear. They swirl around him like dust caught in moonlight, weeping their silent laments. We fade because they forget, they whisper. And when memory dies, so do we. Morpheus kneels, his hands open to the mist. Why have the gates weakened? A single voice rises above the others, soft as wind through glass. The mortal world turns away from wonder. They no longer believe. Without belief, the dream flow dims. Without imagination, the gates lose form. Morpheus feels the truth pierce deeper than sorrow. Dreams are not his alone to sustain. They are woven by mortal minds, fragile yet powerful in their faith. He stands, the mist swirling around his cloak. Then I must go to the gates myself. The forgotten ones fall silent, their faint shapes trembling. Few have walked that path. I forged it once, Morpheus says. I can find it again. But even as he speaks, the air grows heavy, the colors dulling into gray. The bridge between realms is already fading. The way to the gates is hidden in silence. Morpheus lifts his hand, summoning a fragment of dreamlight, pale and flickering. It glows weakly, revealing a trail that leads into the sea of shadows. The whispers follow him, faint, sorrowful. Hurry, Dream Lord, before the last light dies. He takes one step, and the ground beneath his feet ripples like water. The citadel fades behind him, its towers dissolving into mist. Now there's only the sound of the wind, the endless expanse of unformed dreams. Morpheus walks forward, alone, guided by a single thread of light. Each step echoes across the emptiness, each breath carries the weight of a dying world. Above, the constellations of dreamers flicker, their lights trembling, uncertain. The whispers fade into distance, leaving him in solemn quiet. But in that quiet, he feels something, a pulse, faint yet alive. It is the call of the forgotten ones, still waiting beyond the gates. And Morpheus knows, the journey has begun. The sea of shadows stretches before Morpheus, endless and still. Its waves are made of memory. Each ripple reflects a forgotten dream. Faces, places, and hopes long dissolved into night. He moves across its surface as though walking on mist, his footsteps leaving trails of silver. Above, the stars drift slowly, dimmed but watching. They remember him. They remember everything. In the distance, he sees a glow, the library of slumber, a sanctuary of light amid the void. It stands tall and eternal, carved from moonstone, surrounded by drifting dream scrolls. Within its halls lies the record of every dream ever dreamt, written in threads of starlight. Morpheus enters. The vast doors open with a sigh, as though the building itself remembers him. Shelves spiral infinitely upward, filled with glowing strands, living memories of imagination. Each strand hums faintly, vibrating with the breath of the dreamer who once held it. But many are dark, burned at the edges, their glow extinguished. The silence inside is heavy. From the far end of the hall, a soft voice calls, "You came." It is Hypnea, the keeper of lost sleep, her form shimmering like mist in moonlight. Her eyes are pools of reflection, filled with sadness. She carries a lantern shaped like a heart. Morpheus bows slightly. The gates weaken. The dreams fade faster each night. She nods, her expression grave. I know. The scrolls have been fading from their shelves. She lifts her lantern, showing him the rows of empty space where dreams once rested. They vanish without sound, not destroyed, simply forgotten. Morpheus steps closer, his hand brushing the dust of a lost dream. It feels like cold ash, the remains of wonder turned to silence. How many have been lost, he asks. Countless, she replies, and more vanish every moment. A low hum fills the room, the song of the living dreams struggling to survive. Hypnea gestures toward a great mirror at the library's heart. The dream wells are reflected here. Morpheus approaches. Within the mirror swirls a vast ocean of light, dim and fractured. Where once color danced freely, now shadows creep through its currents. He places his hand upon the glass. It ripples weakly, echoing his touch. The connection weakens, Hypnea whispers. Mortals no longer listen to the voice within sleep. Without belief, Morpheus murmurs, dreams lose their shape. He turns to her. Is there a way to restore it? She hesitates, then opens her palm. A fragment of dreamlight floats above it. It is said the source lies beyond the Gates of Reverie. There, the first dream was born. Her voice softens. But the path has been sealed for ages. None have crossed it since creation. Morpheus takes the fragment from her hand. Its glow pulses faintly, alive but fragile. I will go, he says quietly. The gates must open again. Hypnea's eyes glimmer with both fear and hope. Then may the stars guide you, Dream Lord. He turns toward the doors, the lanterns dimming as he leaves. Behind him, the library hums softly, as though whispering a prayer. Outside, the sea of shadows awaits, and beyond it, the path to reverie. The sea of shadows begins to thin, its dark waves parting before Morpheus's light. He follows the faint trail that Hypnea's fragment reveals, a thread of silver hope. The air grows colder, filled with whispers not of dreams but of memory itself. He walks until the mist clears, revealing a vast river stretching across eternity. The river of reflection. Its waters gleam like glass, showing not what is seen, but what is hidden. No one crosses it without facing their own truth. Morpheus stands at its edge, the glow of his lantern dimming under its gaze. The river murmurs softly, the sound like distant voices speaking his name. He kneels, touching the surface, and the world shifts. Images rise from the water, faces of dreamers, countless and familiar. Children laughing, artists painting in midnight silence, lovers whispering in sleep. Then the visions fade, replaced by his own reflection. He sees not the Dream Lord, but a man weary, burdened by centuries of sleepless vigilance. His crown glimmers faintly, its light cracked. His eyes hold both wonder and sorrow. A voice drifts from the current, soft yet unyielding. Why do you seek the gates, Dream Lord? He answers quietly. Because dreams are dying. And what if their time is past? The voice replies. What if mortals no longer need you? Morpheus gazes into the river, seeing the mortal world within its depths. Cities bathed in false light, people staring at glowing screens long into the night. Eyes open, yet minds closed. They no longer surrender to dreaming. He feels the ache within him, not anger, but grief. The voice whispers again. You cannot force them to dream. You cannot make them believe. I know, Morpheus says, but I can remind them. Dreams are not commands, they are invitations. The river shimmers, ripples of light forming bridges of memory. Then cross, weaver of reverie, the voice says, but leave behind your doubt. Morpheus steps forward. Each stride pulls at him, drawing forth visions of his failures. Dreams lost to despair. Nightmares that grew beyond control. Mortals who forgot his name. Yet with every step he lets them go, one by one, fading into the current. Halfway across, the river grows still. His reflection changes again. Now, he sees the first dream he ever created, a field of starlight beneath an endless sky. It was pure, simple, full of hope. He smiles faintly. I remember. The waters glow brighter, parting before him. He reaches the far shore, the fragment of dreamlight now shining like a newborn sun. Behind him, the river settles into silence, carrying away the remnants of doubt. Ahead lies a vast expanse, a valley carved from crystal mist, shimmering with faint echoes. This is the realm of echoes, where forgotten dreams wait to be remembered. Morpheus takes a breath, his resolve renewed. The journey continues. The gates of reverie are still far beyond, but his heart no longer wavers. The realm of echoes breathes softly, a landscape woven from memory and time. Morpheus steps forward, his feet stirring trails of light in the shimmering air. Every sound here is an echo, Laughter once shared, songs once sung, dreams once cherished. They linger like ghosts of joy, caught between existence and oblivion. The sky glows with a pale hue, shifting between dawn and dusk without choosing either. Above him, fragments of dreams drift like lanterns, flickering as they fade. He reaches toward one, a child's kite, tangled in the wind of remembrance. The thread snaps, dissolving into starlight before his eyes. "These are the dreams forgotten," he murmurs, his voice heavy with regret. A soft sound answers him, a whisper like a sigh carried by the wind. "Not forgotten," it says, "only waiting to be remembered." Morpheus turns and sees the echoes, figures made of light and memory, standing silently. Their faces are blurred yet familiar, each one once part of a dream that shaped a soul. He recognizes some, a musician's muse, an artist's lost vision, a mother's bedtime tale. They approach him slowly, their voices blending into a single haunting melody. "Why have you come, Dream Lord?" they ask. "We have waited for so long." "I seek the Gates of Reverie," he replies, "the source of all." Dreams grows dim. At his words, the air trembles. The echoes exchange glances that shimmer with both fear and hope. "The gates are far," one whispers, "beyond the valley of stillness, past the sleeper's heart." Another speaks, her tone soft as silk. "But first you must remember what was lost." Morpheus looks around. "What do you mean?" They raise their hands and the air ripples with vision. He sees the first stories ever told, shadows on cave walls, songs sung under starlight. He sees artists, poets, and dreamers from every age, giving shape to the unseen. And then he sees how it all began to fade, when wonder turned to distraction and belief to noise. The images pierce him like shards of light. He had thought himself guardian of all dreams, yet he had let them slip away. "Dreams do not die when forgotten," the echoes whisper. "They sleep, waiting for you to wake them." Morpheus steps closer. "Then help me. Guide me to the place where they still breathe." The echoes join hands, forming a circle of light around him. Their glow brightens, filling the realm with warmth and color. From their light rises a bridge, woven from music, laughter, and whispered hope. "This path leads to the sleeper's heart," they say. "Follow it and you may find the way." Morpheus bows his head. "I will not let you fade again." As he steps onto the bridge, the echoes hum softly, their song lifting into the air. It is the sound of dreams awakening, faint but alive. He walks onward, the light beneath his feet carrying him toward the horizon. Behind him, the realm of echoes glows brighter, as if remembering itself. The journey continues, and the world of dreams stirs once more. The bridge of echoes fades into mist as Morpheus steps onto new ground. Before him stretches the valley of stillness, vast, silent, timeless. No wind moves here, no sound breathes. Even dreams hold their breath. In the center lies a figure, motionless beneath a shroud of pale light. Morpheus approaches, the echo of his steps swallowed by silence. The air feels thick, heavy with forgotten longing. The figure stirs faintly, a mortal, trapped between wakefulness and sleep. A young man, pale and still, his chest rising only in slow rhythm. Morpheus kneels beside him. "A dreamer caught in the veil," he murmurs. He senses the pulse of two worlds within this one soul, waking and dreaming, neither whole. His name drifts faintly through the still air. Elias. A poet once filled with vision, now lost to endless slumber. Morpheus touches his brow, and the stillness shivers. Memories bloom. Pages of unwritten poems, starlit nights of silent inspiration. The boy's dream was once bright, but now it lies fractured, dulled by despair. Morpheus speaks softly. "Why do you sleep without dreaming, mortal poet?" No answer comes, only the faint flicker of breath. Then a whisper escapes his lips, fragile, almost lost. "I forgot how." Morpheus closes his eyes. "Then remember through me." He reaches deeper, weaving threads of light into Elias's fading dream. The air trembles, colors bloom like dawn after centuries of night. Elias's soul stirs, caught between recognition and fear. He finds himself standing within his own dream, a gray world still and hollow. Morpheus appears before him, radiant yet gentle, his voice echoing like distant music. "Do you know me, Elias?" "I know the name," the poet replies. They called you the Lord of Dreams. And you once called to me, Morpheus says, but you ceased to believe. Elias lowers his gaze. The world stopped listening to poets. Words lost their power. Dreams are not for the world to hear, Morpheus replies. They are for the heart to feel. The gray around them flickers, faint color bleeding back into the void. Elias looks up, tears bright in his eyes. I want to dream again. Then walk with me, says Morpheus, extending his hand. The poet hesitates, then takes it. Warmth floods through him like forgotten sunlight. Around them, the still valley trembles, cracks of light breaking through the silence. The world shifts. The air fills with soft music, echoes of dreams reborn. Elias breathes deeply, feeling the pulse of imagination return. He looks at Morpheus. Where does this path lead? To the Gates of Reverie, Morpheus answers, and perhaps to the heart of all creation. Together they rise, leaving behind the valley now glowing faintly with new life. The bridge reforms beneath their feet, woven from the light of belief renewed. The first mortal in centuries now walks beside the Dream Lord, and though the journey ahead is uncertain, the flame of wonder burns once more. For the first time in ages, a mortal dreams again, and the dream begins to dream back. The dream path stretches endlessly, woven from starlight and memory. Morpheus and Elias walk side by side, their steps echoing across eternity. Around them, the landscape shifts, forests of thought, rivers of color, skies that sing. Each step forward shapes the world anew, formed by the poet's imagination and Morpheus's power. This realm responds to you, says Morpheus. Your belief breathes it into form. Elias gazes in awe as a mountain rises in the distance, carved from the verses he once wrote. I never knew my words could build worlds, he murmurs. They always could, Morpheus replies. You simply forgot. They pass through a forest of sound. Trees hum with melodies lost to time. Leaves shimmer like crystal notes, each one whispering a half-remembered song. Elias touches one and hears his mother's voice singing him to sleep. He smiles faintly, eyes bright with emotion. This was my first dream. Yes, says Morpheus, every soul carries its first dream forever. It only needs to be found. As they walk deeper, shadows creep along the edges of light. The dream begins to distort. Colors blur, melodies warp. What is happening? Elias asks, fear flickering in his voice. The path tests you, Morpheus answers. It feeds on truth. If your heart falters, the way dissolves. Elias closes his eyes. Doubt rises like a storm within him. What if he is unworthy of dreaming again? What if he cannot find the gates? The ground trembles. The bridge of starlight flickers, beginning to fade. Morpheus turns, his tone calm but firm. Do not fear the dark. It is part of the dream. Elias breathes deeply, summoning courage. He recalls every poem he left unfinished. He speaks softly, words of light, of memory, of love. The air vibrates, the ground steadies, the darkness recedes. You see, Morpheus says, smiling faintly, creation begins where fear ends. They continue forward, the dreamscape now radiant, alive with reborn colors. Great towers of imagination rise, each one glowing with stories yet to be told. Elias touches a wall made of swirling ink. It moves beneath his palm, alive. These are human dreams, Morpheus says, born from longing, built from hope. And what lies beyond? Elias asks. The source, Morpheus answers, the beginning of all dreaming and the end of forgetting. Ahead, a golden horizon stretches, the shimmer of something vast and sacred. It pulses with rhythm, like the heartbeat of a sleeping god. The gates, Morpheus whispers. We are near. Elias feels his heart surge with both awe and fear. What will we find there? Truth, says Morpheus, and perhaps the price of remembrance. They walk in silence as stars drift down like snow, lighting their way. The dream grows quieter, as though holding its breath. The air hums with anticipation, the threshold of revelation close. Morpheus looks ahead, his eyes glowing with resolve. Stay with me, poet. I will, Elias replies. I remember now why I dreamed it all. Together, they move toward the horizon where light meets eternity. And beyond it, The gates of reverie await. The horizon unfolds into brilliance, a sea of gold shifting like liquid dawn. Before them stands a vast gate, carved from dreamlight and shadow intertwined, the gates of reverie, neither open nor closed, but waiting. They rise higher than mountains, their surface rippling like living flame. Elias gazes upward, awe filling his chest. "It's beautiful," he whispers. Morpheus nods, his voice quiet. "And ancient, older than memory, older than time." As they step closer, the air thickens, heavy with power and presence. A voice echoes from beyond, deep and resonant. Who approaches the threshold? Light gathers into form, and from the gate emerges a figure, the gatekeeper. She is neither mortal nor divine, her eyes endless as night. Her name is Somnia. "Lord of Dreams," she says, her tone both welcoming and wary. "You have come far." Morpheus bows. The balance falters, the dreamlight fades. I seek to restore the flow. Somnia's gaze shifts to Elias. "And this one, a mortal within the realm of gods." "He is the last dreamer," Morpheus answers. "He carries the spark humanity forgot." Somnia circles them slowly, her presence filling the air with calm and unease alike. "Few mortals cross this veil," she murmurs. "Fewer still remember why they dream." Elias meets her gaze, trembling yet steady. "I came to remember, to believe again." Her lips curve into the faintest smile. "Then answer this, poet. Why must mortals dream?" The question hangs between them like a spell. The wind stills. The gate hums softly. Elias lowers his eyes, thinking of all he has seen, the echoes, the silence, the forgotten. He speaks slowly. "Because without dreams we lose ourselves. We forget who we are." Somnia tilts her head. "And what are dreams to you?" "They are truth," Elias says, "not the kind seen with eyes, but the kind felt with the soul." Silence follows. Then Morpheus adds, "Dreams are how mortals touch eternity." The golden light brightens, swirling around them like awakening fire. Somnia raises her hands. "Then you understand what few ever do." She turns to Morpheus. "But tell me, Dream Lord, will you pay the price to reopen the gates?" Morpheus stands firm. "If it restores creation, yes." Somnia's expression softens, both sorrow and admiration in her gaze. "Then know this," she says. "To open the gates, one must surrender part of what they are." Elias looks at him in alarm. What does she mean? Morpheus smiles faintly. "Dreams require sacrifice, always have." The gatekeeper's voice deepens. "Give of yourself, Morpheus, your eternal slumber, your divine stillness." He closes his eyes. "So be it." The air trembles. Light surges from him, spreading across the gates. They glow brighter, threads of shadow burning away. Elias shields his eyes, feeling warmth and sorrow intertwine. The gates begin to open, their song echoing through creation. Somnia steps aside, her voice a whisper. "Go, before the dream fades again." Morpheus turns to Elias. "The path beyond is not mine alone. Come." Together, they step through the light, into the heart of reverie itself. They step through the gates and into an endless expanse of light and silence. The world beyond is neither sky nor earth. It is pure creation, unformed and waiting. Elias feels weightless, like thought given shape. "Is this the heart of reverie?" Morpheus nods. "Here, all dreams are born, every vision, every whisper of hope. Around them, fragments of forgotten dreams drift like constellations. Some glow brightly, others flicker, fading into shadow." Elias reaches out and touches one. It bursts into an image, a child's laughter, a sunrise, a promise. "They're so alive," he murmurs. "They are," says Morpheus. "Dreams never die. They only sleep, waiting to be remembered." They walk among the drifting lights, each one a story untold. Some whisper poetry, others hum with the echoes of lost prayers. Then, in the distance, something stirs. A dark wave rolling across the horizon. The light dims, the dreams tremble. "What's happening?" Elias asks, voice tense. "The forgetting," Morpheus replies softly. "The force that devours unremembered dreams." The wave grows closer, swallowing colors, turning light into silence. Elias feels its pull, the ache of doubt, of disbelief. It's beautiful and terrible, he whispers. It is the shadow of all minds, Morpheus says, born when mortals abandon wonder. The wave reaches them. Elias braces himself, but Morpheus raises a hand. A sphere of light blooms around them, holding back the darkness. Inside, it feels warm, like the glow of a childhood memory. Morpheus turns to him. This is why I brought you. Only belief can awaken the dreaming world. Elias shakes his head. I'm just one man. How can I fight something that vast? By remembering, says Morpheus, by dreaming not for yourself, but for all. Elias closes his eyes. He thinks of the stories he once wrote, the songs he left unfinished. He recalls every dream he ever abandoned. I remember, he says softly. I remember them all. The light around him strengthens, pulsing like a heartbeat. The darkness hesitates, faltering at the edge of belief. Morpheus smiles faintly. Then speak them. Give them life again. Elias opens his mouth and begins to recite, not with fear, but with faith. Words like light, like melody, like creation itself. His voice rises, and the dream responds. The dark wave begins to dissolve, its edges torn apart by sound and memory. Lost dreams reawaken, their light flowing back into the void. Colors return, music swells, reverie breathes again. Morpheus watches, silent, proud. You see now. The dream needs no gods, only believers. Elias turns to him. Then why did you sacrifice your stillness? Because even gods must dream, Morpheus answers, his voice fading into wind. The light grows brighter, wrapping around them both. Elias feels tears rise, not of sorrow, but understanding. The gates shimmer in the distance, beginning to close. Morpheus's form flickers like a dying star. Go, he whispers. Tell them the dream still lives. And with that, he fades, leaving behind only a whisper of starlight and peace. Elias wakes beneath a pale dawn, the dreamlight fading from his skin. The world feels quiet, softer than he remembers. He sits up slowly, the memory of Morpheus still lingering in his mind. The forest around him glows with dew, real, yet somehow touched by wonder. For a moment he wonders if it was all illusion, but then he feels something inside him, a pulse, a rhythm, a song. It is the heartbeat of reverie, still echoing within him. He smiles faintly. You kept your promise, Dream Lord. Elias rises and begins to walk. Each step feels lighter, purposeful. He knows what he must do, to remind the waking world that dreaming still matters. He returns to his village, to his small home filled with dust and silence. He lights a candle, takes his old notebook, and begins to write. The words flow freely, as if the dream guides his hand. He writes of stars that sing, of gates that shimmer, of gods who weep and smile. He writes of Morpheus, the eternal dreamer who gave his stillness for creation. And as he writes, something miraculous happens. The candlelight bends, shaping into faint images, scenes from the dream. Children's laughter drifts through the air, warm and pure. Outside, people gather by his window, drawn by the glow. They listen, silent, as Elias's voice carries into the night. His story spreads like wildfire, from town to town, from heart to heart. Dreams long buried begin to stir once more. Artists paint visions they can't explain. Poets write words that move like light. Mothers hum lullabies older than time. And across the world, people begin to dream again. Somewhere, beyond the veil of waking, the gates of reverie shimmer faintly. They remain open, not wide, but enough for wonder to pass through. In that space of twilight, a figure stands, watching. Morpheus, serene and eternal, gazes toward the mortal world. He is quieter now, his essence spread among the dreams of humankind. Somnia stands beside him, her voice soft as wind. You gave much, he nods, and they gave more. They remembered. Below them, the flow of dreams glimmers once more, a living river of thought and light. New dreams are born, weaving futures not yet written. Elias's words echo faintly in that realm. Without dreams, we lose ourselves. Morpheus closes his eyes, letting the sound become part of eternity. The gates pulse once, a heartbeat of creation renewed. Somnia smiles. Will you rest now? Not yet, he answers. There is still one dream left. Theirs. Back in the mortal world, Elias finishes his tale and sets down his pen. The candle burns low, but the room is bright. He looks to the sky where dawn paints gold upon the horizon. "Thank you," he whispers, "for letting me remember." And in that moment, as light and dream intertwine, the world feels infinite again, alive, awake, and full of wonder.